Alrighty, in this section of the video, we're going to be going through how to crop, rotate, resize, and a bit more on layers. So I've got the image that I'm working on. It's a pretty silly idea, it's just for the demo of this. But I'm going to add these as sort of decals on the Firefly ship. For those of you who know the series, it's an epic series. For those of you who don't, watch it. Alright, anyway, you'll see here I've named some of the layers, so it helps you understand which one. And this one I hadn't, but I've removed the window from here because I want to put myself into the ship. So what I'm going to do is you double click on it, and then you can rename it, or right click rename, and then I'm going to call this window. It helps you just to coordinate which layer is which. Now you'll notice if I go to me and I move myself across onto it, you'll notice that I just go in front of it. It kind of looks silly. So what you can do is you can move yourself down, so now the window is in front of me. Now obviously I'm way too big there, so I'm not really fitting into the cockpit or anything like that, but also you can't see me now with the window. So on the window layer you can actually change the opacity of it, so you can go here and you can choose down, and you can make the layer more and more sort of, so it looks like a window now, and you can see me a bit through it. But I'm still too large, so the opacity has got to do with how transparent you want it to be. Now for me, I want to change myself. I want to change myself. Right? I'm wanting to resize myself. So you go to the tools to resize. There's rotate, there's skew, there's a whole bunch of different things here. So I'm going to change my size. So I'm going to work with that. Now when you change, you'll see that this here is locks the aspect ratio, meaning that the width and the height will remain more constant, so that it will work with that. Now I want myself to be behind the window, but potentially not behind the object. So I'm sticking out. I want the window to be above me, but I don't want the Firefly to be behind me. So I'm thinking the better way to do it. There's the reason why it's not working is because the Firefly is not actually a transparent background, so I need to separate that layer. So I'm going to work with the other one. So a nice easy way to do that is you hide the other objects, so you can just focus on working on the actual object here. And what I'm going to do is I want a transparent background there, and that's why I couldn't do that ordering where I was behind Firefly but in front of in front yeah, you kind of get what I'm saying. I want the window to be behind the window and the Firefly, so we want to be able to see this window and through it, but we can't because of that there. So it'll work with that, but you won't be able to see me because of the blue that's behind the Firefly itself. So what we can do is I'm just going to work with the Firefly, and I'm going to select using the selection tool that we learned earlier. And I can't just delete this, unfortunately, because there's no background behind that. So what I can do is I can invert my selection, meaning I'm selecting everything else except for that part, and I'm going to float that selection. So I'm going to make this selection a new layer. Now that I've created that as a new layer, I can delete my base, which will be my transparent section. So now, when I put myself, I'm in the window. I might want to make this a little less transparent. So you can see I am there. It's just a little bit of a touch to it. Okay, now I don't look like I'm really sitting in there, so I can also work with my rotation. So I could, well, that's the window I'm on, so make sure you're on the right layer. So me, I could rotate myself a bit more. You can move yourself, you can skew yourself a little bit to make it look like you're more seated. Anyway, you can play around with these different things. It allows that. So now once I've got myself in the position I wanted myself, I want to rotate me. It's a bit frustrating. Okay, so let me put me there. Let's go back to the window. Let's put the window back on. Okay, so there I am in the window, and when you zoom out, it's sort of there I am, sitting in the cockpit. Alright, now, I also don't want to work with this massive image because you're not even going to be able to notice it then. So I potentially might want to crop the image, and to crop the image you would just select using this tool. This tool would crop, so crop, move, change size, rotate, skew, allows you to work with those images. So if I choose this area I want, I can change it all the time, and I can press enter. It will then make the image a little bit smaller. But I'm actually quite happy to leave it that size. It's a little just a touch of having me in there. I don't know how you would notice it too much from there, but you get the idea. Okay, well, hopefully that you learned something with this. Cool.